Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, September is behind us, and October is in front of us, which means it's tier list time, baby. Now, for the end of the Gear 5 celebration, I did do my end game tier list, one that I like to do after big celebrations, prioritizing end game players, stuff like Treasure Map, Super Boss Kazuna, 10-star Kazuna, and PvP, most likely. Check out the meta guide for PvP, as I do like to keep that a little bit separate, because Grand Party and stuff has become such a prevalent thing. But what about the rest of the game? What about you new guys that have come to the game for the Gear 5 celebration or for Anniversary, one of the two, and are picking up all these legends that you have no idea what to do with? And some of them are very good for some particular pieces of content. So if you guys are new to the game and you are watching this, I do want to preface, make sure to keep one of every legend, just in case you need it for a particular piece of content. But in today's video, we're going to be putting all the legends on a tier list to take everything into consideration. Basically, every piece of content, from garbage challenges, to clashes, to arenas, to regular story even. Everything that you guys can think of in terms of the actual game. Grand Voyage, Kazuna 10-star, Super Boss Kazuna, Treasure Map. All pieces of content we're going to be looking at how good a character is in regular content. Now, I do like to separate PvP. Make sure to go check out the PvP tier list. I did one of them recently, plus I did a meta guide in terms of the meta teams that are going around at the moment, which should help you guys out for Grand Party that's right around the corner as well. But just be mindful that this is my personal opinion. If you guys have a disagreement or you don't agree with something, let me know in the comment section below. I love talking about this kind of stuff. And obviously, with a tier list like this, it does get very challenging to rank legends on such a broad spectrum, because characters do certain things that work better in certain game modes. And it does depend on what you prioritize. But I like to focus on things like speed, power, versatility, class, and color. Like, they're the big four that I like to look at with a unit and how powerful they are. Not only on their own team, but can you just slap them on a team and they work or make that team better still. So enjoy the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Let's dive in to the tier list of October 2023. September 2023. As it stands from August, this is what the tier list ended up like. I'll leave a link in the description too, by the way, guys. If you guys want to create your own tier list, if you want to check out this tier list, I'll leave a link of my saved tier list in the description below. So huge shout out to the tier list maker and the database for the images provided. Links for both of them down below. Make sure you're using the database. It's a really, really helpful source, and Solaris puts a lot of work into it. So, top 5, the Utas, you can pick up the skulls quite frequently at the Kazuna shop, but the Utas, these two Utas in particular, I do sort of put on the same level as each other, because they're basically the same unit, just for different classes. But I would understand why you separate them. My top 5 looks like this: Nami, Sanji, Gear 5, Luffy, Yamato, and then the two Utas, whichever one that you guys have, work exceptionally well. Next, we have the God tier. These characters here are all absolutely disgusting in content and make things very easy. Whether it's stuff like Grand Voyage, whether it's stuff like arenas, clashes, and Colosseum, some of that older, like 50 stamina content, whether it's stuff like garbage challenges for their particular colors, whether it's, like I said, Grand Voyage and just speed farming stuff, or even just farming stuff in general. PKA as well, obviously, is a big part of the game now too. All these characters are very, very good. Zoro is an absolute demon in Kazuna, and honestly, he has the second best super tandem behind Nami. He's been showing a lot of value lately as well. Most players, newer players, you won't really want to have your hands on this character, but for endgame players, he's an absolute monster. New game players, Roger Whitebeard's so good. They're a demon in PvP. They're like the second best unit, in my opinion. But in regular play, their switch will just carry you through so much content. Straw Hat Crew V2, they make team building so easy. You got the damage potential of versus Yamato and the despair removal. You have the Yamato Sabo and Yamato Ace combination. Their utility of these two units is so good. If you're a new player and you have this Yamato Ace, you can basically just clear the game. Roger 6+, absolute weapon. You can pick him up pretty early if you're a new player because of the new player banner. Same with like Straw Hat Crew and this Yamato. K-Dad, very, very good. Attack down removal is great. The despair removal, this Blackbeard doesn't get enough love. People say, Stump, why do you rate this Blackbeard so high? He's so good. Like, go use this Blackbeard and come back to me. Like, the ability to just remove despair and turn it into a buff for you is so underrated. Like, yeah, people sit there and go, oh, completely removing despair. Like, oh, who cares? Every character does that. He doesn't just remove it. He turns it into a buff. It's crazy. Like, it's actually nuts. This Luffy, very, very good. Absolutely amazing Super Tandem. This Big Mom, definitely does not get enough love. She is still so good. Super Tandem Kaido has dropped off a lot because of a reason we'll talk about today. But still very, very good. Yamato, great damage dealer. Momo for EXP and speed, like, not speed farming, but easy farming. Alba just makes stuff easy, and then the speed potential of Cat Viper is so good. If you go down to meta, these characters here are all meta characters that work really well because of the characters above them. Kid Law, great for damage output. Not so great anywhere else, really, in my opinion. I don't love this unit, only when it comes to damage. Oda and Toki, again, when it comes to damage, they're great, but otherwise, they're kind of a bit of a miss, and they only work for slashes. Robin's awesome at damage, but again, she doesn't really shine anywhere else besides that. This Zoro, again, damage is great, but that's about it. Law and his Grand Voyage potential is awesome, but he has dropped off a lot, and he's been seeing some resurgence with the overrideable buff, just that this Rayleigh Caban brought. But other than that, he isn't insane like some of these other characters. Still an amazing character to level up. Anything like from down from meta upwards, like I would 100% level up. The waifu is terrific character, sub great damage. Dogstorm, speed demon alongside Cat Viper. I do think Cat Viper's a little bit better. But Dogstorm's still very, very good. Dogstorm's probably a better captain, but like Cat Viper shows more value in Treasure Map. Queen, fantastic damage dealer and terrific at getting around the what's it called? The resilience because of his end of turn damage. Plus, he has some really, really interesting gimmicks with his captain action ability, so you can avoid stuff like captain swap and whatnot, which is super fun. And then finally, you have this Kaido. Great damage dealer, and then Black Maria and Ulti. Now, I do want to make some changes to this, but we'll come back to that. I just want to explain the rest of the tiers for you newer guys, if you guys don't understand. After that, we basically just go through the standard S, A, B, and obviously S is better than A is better than B. But within S, I do separate them into S tier captain, so these guys are all stereotypically used as captain. That doesn't mean they're not good subs, it just means that stereotypically you use them as a captain. S tier sub, however, you're always using them as a sub. You're not ever running this character as a captain. They might have a good captain ability, but you're never using this character as a captain. You're always using this character as a sub. Next, we have the S tier level limit break. These characters here require 10 copies to get them to the point where they're an S tier character. Without the 10 copies, they're not an S tier character. This carrot, I would argue, definitely is an S tier sub without it. But other than that, maybe Shank's crew can be in there too. But everything else, they need their level limit break to be as good as they actually are. Moving down then, we have the PvP focus. These characters, you are pretty much only ever going to use them in PvP. Nowadays, stuff like Jack's been replaced as an EXP captain. Whilst Kid is fantastic, like a phenomenal character, you're really only using him in PvP. And unfortunately, that's the bottom line when it comes to these units. It kind of is what it is. Again, it doesn't mean they're bad. Like, Akainu was so good in Grand Voyage recently. But again, 99% of the time, you're going to be using him for PvP. And at the end of the day, if you don't have him, you just run a friend captain. AT captain, all these units, look, I might have put a lot of slander on some of them, but like, they're just not as good as the characters above them. That's the bottom line. Honestly, I need to drop Frankie down into AT level limit break, because he got actually nerfed recently with his ability to go through the damage limiter. AT subs, they're only good as subs. Again, you guys get the gist when it comes to this sort of stuff. If you guys want to like sort of have a look here and go, yep, sweet, or no, Stump, you're crazy, then like I said, let me know in the comment section below. This support tier, these characters are only good as supports. You're only ever going to use them as supports. That's basically it. And then we go down to the B tier captains, B tier subs, and we just move into characters that need some love. Some characters that need some love, something severe. But we do have some new stuff that we need to talk about today. We have some new characters to put on the tier list, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have 5 new characters to talk about, and I have to apologize to every Kawamatsu lover in the comment section because I just completely forgot about Kappa. Just completely glanced over him. Just forgot to add him when he came out before Gear 5, and here we are. We have Kanjuro, the Pill Man, and we have the new Super EX Super Sugo Kaido, the 6+ of Whitebeard and Marco, and then we have the 6+ of Gear 5. So, let's take a look at the tier list quickly, and let's make some changes, because with these new powerhouse characters come some changes to the tier list. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it's going to be, little darling. So, we're going to drop Kaido down. I do believe Kaido is probably an S tier captain. Queen can stay in the meta, but I'm definitely going to drop Ulti and Maria to S tier sub. I do think that their sub potential is pretty much sub potential. As for these God tier characters, I'm going to bring Luffy and Kaido down. I still think they're pretty on par with each other, but they've basically, recently, they've just had characters that just hard replace what they're trying to do. Yamato, I'm going to drop down into meta as well. I don't really ever see Yamato used as a captain anymore. She's like a super duper sub, but she is a super type and she still can be used, but with the Gear 5s, obviously that value of hers has reduced drastically, and we'll talk about that once we get to a particular Gear 5. As for everyone else on this tier, like I said, I really love this Blackbeard. I think he's fantastic. Roger's going to carry through so much content, and I think everyone else is fine. Maybe Alba. Now, Alba's you can't doubt what Alba can do as an absolute monster. As for Sop, I'm going to bring Sop down to S tier sub. I don't think they've seen as much value anymore as a sub. Same with... Look, waifus are still really good across the board. Like, their utility is so insane. Same with Zora's utility. Very, very good. Odin and Tohi might have to move down. They're a good damage dealer for what they're trying to do. But other than that, they don't really provide all that much. So, I think I'm pretty happy with bringing them down. As for everyone else here, that sounds pretty good. Pretty good to me. S tier level Limerick can stay the same. That's fine. Anyone needs to move from S tier captain down to A tier captain or S tier sub. I think you can move down to S tier sub. I don't think using Kid as a captain for a new player is anything fierce. Kaido, unfortunately, Kaido's going to move down to A tier captain. The law still states if you can use V1 Kaido, you use V1 Kaido, but there's a new law that has just come into play with a new Kaido. So wait till the end of the video to hear that one, because kind of nuts. Corazon and Law, they're pretty interesting. I think this Yamato's probably seen her time as well. I'm going to bring her time to A tier captain. She's very finicky to use. Very interesting character to use, but very finicky character to use indeed. Brooke, whilst you are an absolute demon in Grand Voyage, that's literally all you're used for, is Grand Voyage. So I'm going to bring you down to B tier captain. Other characters like Jinbei can come down to A tier sub. Hina, Yuki Lock Orbs, you're pretty fun. This Whitebeard, pretty much the same as this Kaido. Look, I dislike Ace, and people are going to hate me for this, but I'm going to bring Ace down to A tier sub. I think this Ace is so bad, man. I just think he's bad. The utility of these characters is great. You're only a sub. Zoro and, like, you guys suck, honestly. I'm going to bring you down to B tier. You guys are trash. Crocodile's a lot of fun. Hawkins, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Hawkins either. I'll bring Hawkins down to B tier captain. Where did I put Killer? I think Killer's pretty shit too, to be honest. Yeah, Killer can come down to A tier captain. He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. As for everyone else, I'm pretty happy with everything else. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys disagree with anything or if I have blatantly missed something. I believe this X-Drake is probably an S tier sub, but like you can't doubt what he can do as a captain if you hybrid him up with something like this Kaido. But lately he's been used under someone else, and like that's what we're going to talk about today. So before we dive in, we have to make a few little changes to the top here that I do believe. I'm going to bring Uta down to God tier. I think both these Utas are God tier, and they are very, very good. But again, I don't think they're top 5 anymore. I think just with the release of some new characters we're going to talk about, I don't think this unit is top 5. And we're going to have some new characters to talk about to obviously take their place. So, again, stay tuned for that, as that should come towards the end of the video. So let's start it off with Kawamatsu. Kawamatsu should have been on the tier list a very long time ago. Honestly, not going to lie to you guys, and I'm going to be fully transparent, no idea what Kawamatsu does. No clue. He's a slasher booster. That's all I remember. And the fact that I don't remember... Oh, shit, where'd he go? There he is. The fact that I don't remember, I'm going to put him in A tier captain. If you have the character, if you love the character, if he's carried you through content that isn't PvP, you let me know. Because, you know what? For that reason, I'm going to put him in PvP. I'll put him in PvP because he's a PvP legend, and that's where PvP legends shine. Cool? Are we all okay with that? Someone in the comments just type out what Kawamatsu does, like in a very short bracket, and I will pin the comment. And shout out to that person. That's Kawamatsu. Cool. On to the Pooh Man. Mr. Pooh Man. Kanjuro. Kanjuro is a very, very interesting release. Kanjuro's release is so interesting that he's going to go into A tier sub, which is crazy to think because he's one of the newest legends to release on OPTC, right? What he does is, if you have an attack or orb boost that's 3 times or higher, he extends the duration. However, if you have an attack boost and an orb boost that isn't 3 times, he's going to increase them to 3 times, which is really, really good, right? Really, really good. However, if we scroll up for a second, there is so many characters that give you more than a 3 times buff. 3.25, 3.25, 3.25. What else we got here? 3.25, 3.5. You guys getting the gist? Yeah, you guys picking up what I'm putting down, and the fact that he increases it to 3 times isn't overly bad. Where'd he go? It's just more the fact that you're not going to use this in a lot of different content. The big thing that I see this guy being valuable for is Super Boss Kazuna with a crazy intimidation, or a 10-star intimidation, 10-star Kazuna that has intimidation that drops your attack and orb boost by like 2 times. And then you use an attack boost, you get a shitty attack boost, and then Kanjuro just makes it 3 times. That's the only time this character's going to have value. And that's exactly what they did with the Super Boss that he came out for with Kaido. That alone is like the only thing that I can see where Kanjuro is going to shine. He does apply the Ignite. As a captain, he can apply Ignite, and I believe he gives a conditional boost, but he's not the guaranteed conditional booster. He's a low captain. He's just shit. He's a big pile of poo. And whilst he was good for what he came out for, and he provided a lot of extra damage for what he needed to do, I just can't see him being that great moving forward. And just like this ace, I'm putting him down here with a big fiery donut of poo. He's poo. It's the bottom line. If you guys want to check out what he does, go watch the video. He's poo. But Kaido, the character that came out alongside him, he's a top 5 unit, baby. He is a top 5 unit. Honestly, I have him probably 4th for this particular style of tier list. Whilst he's very, very good, he only boosts strength and powerhouse. He basically hard replaces V1 Kaido. He is what V1 Kaido and Versa Kainu does in 1 unit. And what that is, basically, is if you take damage, he applies an increased damage taken, which then he can be a conditional booster for. If you don't get hit, you can still apply a condition that goes through full immunity. He can apply Ignite. If you have a Wano Orb, he can give himself a Wano Orb. And as a captain, if you tap with a Wano Orb, he removes barriers, which is insane. So not only does he remove barriers, which is one of the most annoying gimmicks in the game, his end of turn damage can get around resilience. His burn can get around defensive effects and very annoying mechanics, because burn is based off the attack of the enemy, which is just incredibly powerful. On top of that, gets around resilience. And with his special, not only can he be a 3 times conditional boost to a condition that he can apply, but he can also be a 2.75, 3 times if you have a Wano Orb, slot boost for your strength and powerhouse teams. Now, a lot of people are going to complain and say, but Stump, he doesn't boost driven, and that's a huge downfall to the unit. Well, guess what? A lot of powerhouse units are driven units as well. Driven powerhouse. Where are my other powerhouse units? Look, they have dropped a lot. No, you're not driven powerhouse. You're powerhouse. No, yeah. Are you powerhouse slasher? Maybe you're powerhouse. No, you're driven powerhouse. Driven powerhouse? I remember you being powerhouse. Don't remember anything else. Powerhouse. Yeah. You guys are getting what I'm picking up, what I'm putting down there, right? So Kaido's amazing. He provides a lot of damage for his team. He provides a lot of very annoying utility that a lot of people are going to struggle to get around with barriers and whatnot as well. So this particular unit is incredible. He's a fantastic character for new players. He's a fantastic character for endgame players. He just provides so much. And not only that, but you can just go through content that has no normal attacks only and just decimate it with this unit. The end of turn damage is going to do so much damage. The burn is going to do so much damage. The increased damage taken is going to do so much damage. And now with the release of this Big Mom, giving the double conditional, the combination of these 2 units is sickening. It's so disgusting. They're both 6 times captains. She produces Semla slots, then Kaido produces Wano slots. Unfortunately, the dex does clash in that regard. But Big Mom has the ability to turn Semla into Wano, which is so powerful. And then you have the lead performance treasure map unit that can give you the tandem orb for their super tandem. The downside to this character, the big downside, not the driven thing that everyone's complaining about, is the fact that he doesn't have a super tandem. Not that the character doesn't have super tandem, it's the fact that there aren't any characters that work really well with him that have super tandem. We are waiting for that one Beast Pirate unit to just come out. Maybe it's like a Toby Ropo with like all 5 of them just in one unit crammed in like we have with the Reverie Girls. And it's just like a Toby Ropo unit, and that is our final piece of the puzzle to the super tandem that this Kaido actually needs. Kind of like what they did with the lead performance with the 3 of them, but give us a summonable version, so that way then you can just bring the 3 other calamities and just do some absolute bits with a Beast Pirate team. Kind of like what we saw down here with these particular characters here, and how powerful they are when you synergize all of them up, and then Jack's down here somewhere as well. Poor Jack. Where did I put Jack? Oh man, poor Jack. Where is he? No, surely he's around here somewhere, surely. Oh, there he is. Jackie boy. So Kaido's really, really good. Now, on top of that, he has a rush as well. He boosts strength and power. How you have to tap with second or third. The fact that you can tap second or third too is a huge bonus to the character, because Big Mom is part of that. So you can go Big Mom, then Kaido, and have a full strength team. But with that, again, with that Beast Pirate unit, the lead performers, Big Mom's part of their super tandem. So if you have if you're running a full strength team, you can go Big Mom, the Beast Pirates, and then into Kaido for his rush, and then he gets the super tandem as well. So do some really, really cool stuff there. And the damage that we saw with Kaido basically just gave me everything that I wanted from a Kaido unit. That I wanted from this character, I got in this character. And I'm very, very happy with the unit. I think he's a definite top 5. And they definitely, in my opinion, finally gave some credibility to what Kaido actually is as a character. Moving down now, we had the 6+ for that Kazuna. That is Wipin and Marco. Wipin and Marco are very interesting. Honestly, I don't love them. I think they're honestly quite bad. But if we're looking at something like Jumanji, they're very, very similar. Jumanji has shown incredible value in PKA for the last 2 seasons as well. So I don't know if this unit's going to be as bad as everyone says that they are. They do remove Special Bind with their swap. You can build up their Super Swap as well to remove multiple turns of Special Bind. Something very, very valuable about them that people forget. They do 4 turns of it, which is nuts. They have base stats, they do healing, they rotate block orbs now, and as a captain, they can do resistance. So, whilst they're not anything special, kind of like what Jumanji is, again, nothing really special, they're still a very valuable unit to own, and I'd highly recommend 6+ing them, because they are going to be very, very good for particular content moving forward that does involve stuff like PK, and when they're boosted, that they're going to shine. I don't think they're as good as Luffy and Ace. And I don't think they're as good as Nami and Robin, but I do think the unit is a lot better than what a lot of people are giving them credit for. Just taking a look at this Limit Break Plus section now, I'm actually going to bring Kuzan down into A tier level Limit Break, because I think this Kuzan's nowhere near as good as what we give him credit for. This Big Mom's actually a lot better than I give her credit for. Taking a look here, I think Akainu can go down to B tier level Limit Break. This Akainu's pretty bad. Who else we got here? Mihawk's okay. Chopper's not bad. Lucy's pretty good. Sabo's not bad. Yeah, all of these are really good for Grand Voyage, so I can't drop them. But, yeah, I think the Kuzan can be dropped from A tier level Limit Break. And I think... Sorry, S tier. And I think the Kid and the Shiki can as well. Kid for Treasure Map actually is really, really good, but... I think Shiki's probably only an A tier now. He hasn't really shown too much value where he actually shines. But going back to Wipin and Marco, they're good. They're just not anything fantastic. We're going to wrap up the tier list today with a big one. A huge one to talk about, actually. That's Gear 5 6+. Now, Gear 5 6+, a lot of people dislike what they did with the unit. Looking at the unit, I believe that they are 2 very separate characters because we don't have access to infinite amount of skulls. So you can't just chop and change between these 2 characters. If you guys didn't pick up the skulls from the content that they dropped on, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a little while. They're going to pop up in the Kazuna shop, and then you can chop and change between these 2 units if you want to. If you pull 2 like me, congratulations. The units are they're both very, very good in their own right. For newer players, mid-game players, not the end game meta, I do believe this Luffy is much more valuable. Honestly, I think this Luffy's more valuable than Sanji. This Luffy and what he does for the team, the special rewind, the bind removal is so damn good that the combination of these 2 units can literally tear through any piece of content. Like, any piece of content. And you are absolutely fine. For that reason, I'm going to drop Luffy Yamato. I think this unit just hard replaces Luffy Yamato. And then if you partner up with this unit, you get the Despair removal. However, you partner with this unit, you get the Paralysis removal. So the 2 of them work really, really well. The downside with this Luffy is to get the full potential out of the unit, you need 1 of every color. On top of that, you need 3 Straw Hats, Kid, Law, Momo, or Yamato. Now, they've given us a lot of characters in the game that have these names. Obviously, there's infinite amount of Straw Hats. You have Sanji, you have Nami, you have Zoro, some Momo here that you can use. You have a Yamato here, you have Ace Yamato. a Sabo. As you can see, like, there's plenty of options. Like, there's plenty of options here for you guys to use. However, the big downside to team building is that you have to use one of every color to get the ability for this Luffy right here, 6+, to do rainbow damage and to make all specials super effective or effective for everyone. Now, a lot of people complain about this, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a problem unless you're looking at really fine-tuning a team. Most of the time, you don't even have to worry about it. Like, if you're running a mono-Sai team, you just run a mono-Sai team. Like, it's fine. You don't need one of every color. You don't need that ability to hit with super effective types. However, if you're looking for that big damage super effective in the types, and just, again, fine-tuning a team for a particular piece of content that needs crazy utility that's built for a different team, you are going to struggle a little bit. And I've definitely found that when you are building with these two characters, it obviously takes away your Sai typing, because you then need one of every other color. If you're bringing Luffy and you're bringing like a Nami friend captain, then you have to bring Strength, Dex, Quick, and Int. And you're sort of shoehorned into that. It is a little bit of a problem, but it's nowhere near as a big problem that everyone sees. For most endgame players, they will say that the 6+ is better than the 6-star. But for most mid to lower game, which I believe there is a much, much wider and vast majority of you guys are going to say that this particular Luffy is better. And I definitely agree. I hear both sides of the coin, and I agree with both sides of the coin. Depends on the situation, depends on the circumstances. For me, I like this Luffy more, but for mid to the majority place, I think this Luffy's probably better. Overall, though, Nami's still the queen. Nami's still better than both. In my opinion, Nami still provides something that no one else can provide to a team. With the extra charges she gives, the cooldowns she gives, the base stats, the chain boost, the conditional, the super tandem, it's so good. But the upside to this character is that his rush is so incredibly powerful. You can basically shoehorn, and not even worry about the EX, by the way. The EX makes every type super type, which is good value, but it's nothing insane. He does rotate super block orbs, the first character to do that, which is awesome. And he gives 2 times additional damage, which is why I dropped Yamato from the meta into meta. Because this particular character can just do that for you. Overall, incredible 6+. I think a fantastic addition. A very, very, very good addition to what you want to see from a 6+. However, I don't know if he's all that. I don't know if he's all there in terms of exactly what we wanted from a Gear 5. But I do think he's a top 3 unit. His rush does like some of the most damage in the entire game. Alongside like this guy's rush is insane too. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on the top 5 in the comment section below. Hopefully help you guys out if you're a newer player and you're just trying to figure out what characters are good. Like I said, I'll leave a link down below for you guys to just go and check this tier list out for yourself. But while you're down there, make sure to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.